A luxury villa was what my parents gave my sister, while I was left with nothing but an empty parking lot. You can always sleep under the stars, they snickered, but once I transformed it into a business, suddenly they wanted their share. This dinner should have been an obvious setup. My parents never invited me over without having a reason, usually to remind me what a disappointment I was, but I went anyway because somewhere deep down I still carried that foolish hope that perhaps, just perhaps, this time might be different. As a mechanic I work, nothing fancy, but I'm skilled at it. Things get fixed by me, I receive payment, I keep to myself. Emily, my sister, meanwhile, she's their precious little angel who's never held a real job in her life, always having everything given to her. She could set their house ablaze and they'd still manage to blame me for it. So I walk in and Emily's sitting there already, wine in hand like the place belongs to her. At the table, Dad sits, newspaper in his hands, while Mom busies herself in the kitchen, pretending she's too occupied to look at me much. Wow, Emily smirks. You actually showed up. What, took the night off from changing tires? Her comment I ignore and take a seat. Mom said this was important. Dad finally sets down his newspaper. It is. We've decided our assets need dividing. Emily immediately lights up. She already knows something big is coming her way. We're giving you the beach house, sweetheart. Mom smiles at her. Emily gasps, clutching her chest like an Oscar's been won. Oh my God, the one in Malibu? Yes, honey. It's yours now, Mom nods. There I sit waiting. Surely there's something for me too, right? Dad turns toward me, his expression flat. And you, Logan, we're giving you the parking lot. Silence. The what? I blink. The old lot on 8th Street, Mom says, waving her hand like some favor's being done for me. It's land. You can figure something out. Emily bursts into laughter. Oh my God, that is hilarious. She turns to me with a smirk. Well, at least you'll always have a place to sleep under the stars. That lot's been empty for years, but hey, maybe you can open a lemonade stand or something, Dad chuckles. Logan, you always say you want to build something for yourself. Now's your chance, Mom sighs. At them, I stare. This wasn't even kindness, disguised as an insult. This was garbage, straight up. A memory flashes through my head. Me at 16, coming home covered in grease from my first job at the auto shop. So proud I'd been. I walked in holding my first paycheck, decided to show them how hard I was working. Emily was whining on the couch about wanting a new car for her birthday. Dad didn't even glance at me. You're going to smell like oil for the rest of your life, huh? Mom shook her head. Well, at least he's useful. Maybe one day he'll fix your car for free, Emily. She never had to. They bought her a brand new BMW that same week, and now here we were, years lat. And nothing had changed. A slow breath I take and push back from the table. You're serious? Dad shrugs. You should be grateful we're giving you anything. Maybe one day you'll make enough money to buy a real property. Emily snickers. Like this is the funniest thing in the world. They start laughing. The edge of the chair I grip so hard my knuckles turn white, but I don't yell, I don't argue, I just nod. Okay, that's it? No thank you? Mom frowns. I stand up. Oh, I'll make something of it. At Emily I look. And when I do, don't come knocking. Sure, Logan. Can't wait to see what you do with a slab of concrete. She rolls her eyes. Always so dramatic. Dad shakes his head, muttering. Without another word, I walk out. Fine. They thought they could humiliate me. I'd turn that worthless parking lot into something they'd never see coming. And when I did, every word they'd regret. In front of that parking lot, I stood, staring at it like some kind of sick joke. Cracked pavement. Weeds growing through the asphalt. A rusted old sign that barely clung to its post. My parents didn't just screw me over. They laughed while doing it. Fine. They wanted me to fail. I'd make sure on their own words they choked. The next morning, permits I filed to allow food trucks. If this was nothing but a slab of concrete, then I'd make sure it was a profitable slab of concrete. Within a week, contracts I had with some of the best local food truck owners. Tacos, burgers, coffee, even some overpriced vegan bowls for the hipsters. A small loan I took out, not from a bank but from my boss at the auto shop, a guy who actually believed in hard work. I used to set up lights, seating, music, and banners to turn the place into something real. 3 weeks later, that useless parking lot, it was now a full-blown food court with live music and lines around the block. And that's when the fun started. About a month in, after the place had gone viral on social media, I saw her, Mom. She showed up in her expensive coat, looking around like she had just walked into a garbage dump. Checking inventory I was when she approached. So this is what you've done, she said, wrinkling her nose at the crowd enjoying their meals. Even bother looking at her I didn't. Yeah, well, you gave me trash, so I made it work. Sharply, she exhaled, clearly unimpressed. This isn't a real business, she said. It's just a phase, right? I laughed. A phase that's making more money than Emily's influencer career. Her face twitched, and as if on cue, Emily rounded the corner. She stopped dead in her tracks, her usual smug look vanishing as she took in the place. "What on earth?" she snapped. "You turned this into some kind of... What is this, a flea market?" I grinned. "It's called a successful business. This is a joke. This isn't real money," she scoffed. Around I gestured. "Yeah? Then why are hundreds of people spending their fake money here every night?" A few customers actually clapped. Emily's face turned red. "Mom, say something," she whined. Mom cleared her throat. "Logan, we're just concerned. This doesn't seem stable." An eyebrow I raised. "Stable? Like the fully furnished beach house you handed Emily for free? You can't sell this. This is family property." Emily cut in quickly. A short laugh I let out. "Oh, now it's family property? That's funny. When you were all laughing at me, I don't remember hearing family in the conversation." Her jaw clenched. "This isn't fair," she snapped. "You didn't earn this." Slowly, I turned to face her. "You're seriously saying that to me?" Her arms she crossed, but her confidence wavered. "I'm just saying, selling it would be betraying the family." My head I tilted. "When you dumped it on me as a joke, that wasn't betrayal." Like she was searching for something to say, Mom looked. Then she finally found it. "Well," she said carefully, "if this business is doing so well, maybe we should discuss a partnership." At her, I stared and I laughed. Loud. So loud a few customers turned to see what was happening. "You're kidding, right?" I asked. "You ignored me, humiliated me, gave me nothing, and now that I made something out of it, you want a piece? It's family money now." Emily crossed her arms. A step forward I took and looked her dead in the eye. "You already got your share," I said coldly. "Live with it." And then, without another word, my back I turned on them and walked straight into my business, leaving them standing there like statues. They thought they could break me, but I was just getting started. With a phone call it started. In my office I was, a small converted shipping container at the edge of my thriving food truck business, when my phone buzzed. "Mom?" At the screen I stared for a second before declining the call. A minute later, another one. Then another. I smirked. They needed something. By now, my food truck park was the hottest spot in town. Live music we had, weekend events, VIP sections, and influencers lining up to get in. More money I was pulling in a month than I used to make in a year at the auto shop. And suddenly, my family, who had laughed in my face, couldn't stop calling. A few days later, at the lot I was, overseeing a delivery, when I heard a voice that made my skin crawl. "Logan." Around I turned. Emily. There she stood, her arms crossed, but she didn't look smug this time. She looked desperate. An eyebrow I raised. "Well, you actually came to the parking lot. What, did your car break down?" Sharply she exhaled. "I need to talk to you." My watch I checked. "I got 5 minutes, make it count." Her jaw clenched, but she swallowed her pride. "I need to sell the beach house." I blinked. "The same beach house you gloated about." That she ignored. "The market is trash right now, and I need money fast." I smirked. "Let me guess. Too many luxury vacations, designer bags, and overpriced lattes?" She stiffened. "It's complicated," she muttered. "Just say you'll help." Again. "Help how?" I leaned, crossing my arms. "Help how?" She hesitated. "I need $200,000 to cover debts before I can even list it." I whistled. "Oh man, that's rough." Back to my delivery, I turned and waved over the driver. "Anyway, good luck with that." My arm she grabbed. "Are you serious? You have the money." Away I pulled. "Oh, now my business is real enough for you to beg for a loan? Her face turned red. "Logan, we're family." I laughed. "Funny. Last time we talked, you told me I was a joke. Where's all that energy now?" Her mouth she opened, then closed it. "I'll pay you back," she finally said, voice quieter. "Please." At her, I stared for a long moment, then I leaned in and said no. Her eyes widened. "No?" I smiled. That's right. That's right. The same way you and Mom and Dad said no when I needed support. The same way you all laughed in my face. So no, Emily, I won't bail you out." A step back she took, actually shocked. Then her rage came flooding in. "Are you serious? You're just going to let me fail?" I shrugged. "That's not my problem." And away I walked. But over it wasn't. A week later, into my lot, I pulled and saw my parents standing there. Mom looked irritated. Dad just looked tired. "Logan," Mom started. "We need to talk." I sighed. "Let me guess. Emily ran crying to you and now you're here to talk some sense into me?" Her lips Mom pursed. "This is a serious situation." Dad finally spoke. Your help, son." An eyebrow I raised. "Son? Oh, now I was a son again? Your father's business isn't doing well. We're in financial trouble," Mom sighed. The urge to smile I fought. "Oh," I said, acting surprised. "You mean the family that handed my sister a mansion and gave me a piece of concrete is struggling? Who could have seen that coming?" Mom's nostrils flared. "Don't be childish, Logan." My head I tilted. Childish? Like laughing in someone's face when they're struggling? "We don't need a lecture, we need a loan." Dad groaned. There it was. The golden mo. Meant. My chin I rubbed. How much? Mom swallowed. $500,000. Actually, I laughed. No way. $500,000? Looking exhausted, Dad nodded. You're successful now. You can afford it. My arms I crossed. Oh, so now I'm successful? Don't be a brat, Logan. We are your family, Mom snapped. That hang in the air I let. Then I smiled. Let me tell you something about family. A step closer I took. Family doesn't mock you when you're struggling. Another step. Family doesn't treat you like a joke. And one more. Family doesn't show up only when they need something. Mom's face turned pale. Logan, please, Dad muttered. I exhaled and shook my head. You made your choices. To my lot I gestured. My success. My empire. And I made mine. Then back I stepped. I'm not giving you a cent. You ungrateful, Mom gasped. A hand I held up. No, we're done. To go I turned. Logan, Dad called. If I walked away from this, I paused, turned back. If I walk away, I repeated. You mean like you walked away from me? Silence. Then I nodded. That's what I thought. And them standing there I left. Next part, my revenge wasn't just saying no. It was making sure they watched me win. Done with them, I thought I was. Crystal clear, I made myself. No money, no help, no second chances. But people like my parents and Emily, they don't take no well. And sure enough, a few days later, back swinging they came. Small it started. Bad reviews online. Checking my phone I was when I saw the first one. 1 star. This place is overrated. Food is overpriced. And the owner is incredibly rude. Avoid. Then another. 1 star. 1 star. My experience was terrible. The staff is unprofessional and the entire place smells like garbage. And another. 1 star. Do not support this business. The owner is a selfish, ungrateful person who doesn't care about family. I chuckled. Nice try, Mom. She always had this habit of playing the victim first. She'd throw you under the bus, then act like the injured party. Edie. I could picture her sitting in the kitchen, angrily typing out fake reviews between sips of her overpriced wine. But there they didn't stop. A few days later, a city inspector showed up. Anonymous complaint, he said, looking almost embarrassed. Someone reported that your permits might not be up to code. I nodded. Let me guess. A middle-aged woman and her spoiled daughter? His head the guy scratched. Can't say who filed it, but something tells me you already know. Exactly who it was I knew. And then another complaint came in, this time about my seating area allegedly violating space requirements, then one about noise levels, then another about food safety. In legal red tape, they were trying to bury me, drown me in fines, my business they wanted to kill before it could grow any bigger. But here's the thing, I'm not that easy to break. Instead of panicking, back I fought. A lawyer I hired. Every permit, every license, every single regulation was checked, rechecked. ND locked down so tight that even the city inspector admitted there was nothing wrong. My marketing I doubled. If my reputation they wanted to ruin, I drowned them out with positivity. Special events I started running. Giveaways, live performances. To local influencers I reached out, inviting them to VIP tasting nights. I expanded. If a problem before they thought I was, they had no idea what was coming. Extra space next door I rented to open an outdoor beer garden. With local artists I partnered to set up weekend craft markets. Their little sabotage attempt I turned into free publicity. Business boomed. Then Emily made the biggest mistake of her life. A Saturday night it was, the busiest night of the week. With music, laughter, and the smell of fresh tacos, the air was buzzing. Lines stretched out the lot. Packed the entire place was. That's when I heard it, a shouting voice near the entrance. This place is a joke! I turned. Emily, and drunk she was. Her hair was a mess, her make-you, pea smudged, and her expensive designer dress.